Over the course of this series, we have traced the long arc of marriage equality. How the Episcopal Church played a central role in opening its doors to same-sex couples. How the arguments that won hearts and minds ultimately betrayed the promise it made. And why marriage itself is not simply a personal choice, but a cornerstone of civilization. We have explored the deeper purpose of monogamy as a moral foundation that delivers greater meaning and dignity. We looked at the consequences of a culture prioritizing sexual liberation over commitment. And now, we arrive at the final and most urgent question: what comes next? Having secured equality, the work is not over. The question before us is not whether LGBTQ individuals have the right to marry, but whether we, as a community and as a church, are willing to embrace the full responsibility that marriage entails. This is the unfinished work of marriage equality. The Episcopal Church stands uniquely positioned and morally obligated to lead a profound renewal of sexual ethics and monogamous marriage within the LGBT community. From the historic moment of Bishop Gene Robinson's election, the first openly gay bishop in the nation's oldest and most established church, this denomination's destiny became permanently entwined with the aspirations and moral responsibilities of the LGBT community. The Episcopal Church courageously led from the front, inviting same-sex couples into the sacrament, advocating vocally for marriage equality, and incorporating inclusive liturgies into the Book of Common Prayer. These actions solidified its role not merely as a place of worship, but as a spiritual and moral home for countless LGBT individuals. Yet, despite official recognition of same-sex marriage, the Church has largely remained silent on sexual ethics, specifically on monogamy, within these marriages. This silence, while perhaps intended as pastoral sensitivity, now risks betraying the very community it pledged to support. The Episcopal Church owes LGBTQ individuals more than mere recognition. It owes them the fullness of its spiritual and moral teachings. Monogamy remains the explicit standard for marriage within Episcopal doctrine, a standard the Church must reaffirm for same-sex couples to truly deliver on its promise of equality. Embracing and advocating monogamy offers the Episcopal Church a compelling new mission at a time when it urgently needs renewal. Its extensive focus on broad social justice issues, while admirable, often leaves the Church's core moral formation unattended. By boldly championing monogamy, the Episcopal Church could rediscover its prophetic voice, speaking directly to the lived experiences and moral struggles of its community. It would offer something uniquely transformative, something no other organization has the theological foundation or credibility to provide. The need for this leadership is great. 3 trends underscore the urgency of this mission. The commodification of sex. Sex has become transactional, and nowhere is this more evident than in the LGBTQ community. While the public health consequences should alarm us all, STDs are skyrocketing, with gay and bisexual men experiencing infection rates over 100 times higher than heterosexuals for some diseases. This is merely a symptom of a deeper crisis. A pervasive hookup culture has stripped sex of intimacy and reduced human connection to fleeting encounters. We see it happening, yet we look away. The consequences are not just medical but moral, corroding the dignity of the individuals involved and eroding the foundations of meaningful relationships. The retreat from marriage. Marriage rates have been declining for decades, long before Obergefell, but given how hard we fought for marriage equality, many of us expected a stronger embrace of the institution itself. Instead, the data tell a different story. The marriage rate among same-sex couples has remained stagnant in the decades since we won the battle. Today, only 1 in 10 gay, lesbian, and bisexual Americans are married, compared to 50% of the general public. If Episcopalians believe in the intrinsic value of marriage and the moral imperative of equity, this gap should be untenable. Hyper-individualism. We live in a society fraying at the edges. Deaths of despair are rising, and the Surgeon General has declared an epidemic of loneliness as deadly as smoking. When personal freedom and self-expression are prized above all else, the value of long-term commitment and mutual responsibility erodes, and our social bonds wither. Marriage and family are not just personal choices. They are the bedrock of societal trust and citizenship. They teach virtues such as fidelity, responsibility, mutual care, virtues that make us capable of sustaining communities, and, ultimately, civilization itself. The Episcopal Church is called to reclaim its voice and lead a new cultural renewal within the LGBTQ community. To help address the challenges threatening an already vulnerable community, the Episcopal Church must boldly reclaim moral clarity around 3 foundational pillars. Monogamy. Monogamy is the essential ethical foundation required. The Church must reaffirm explicitly and courageously that monogamy is the defining standard for marriage, not as a punitive constraint, but as a profound recognition of human dignity and the irreplaceable worth of each individual. In a culture increasingly defined by transactional intimacy, this moral clarity can serve as a powerful counterweight, reorienting individuals toward relationships of lasting depth and genuine fulfillment. Marriage. Marriage as a sacred and transformative institution provides the community with a structural foundation for renewal. Encouraging broader participation in marriage among same-sex couples is essential for both the community and the Church itself. Family. Marriage is enriched with even greater meaning and purpose through family formation and the call to parenthood. Family life, and especially parenthood through adoption, should be embraced as a natural extension of marriage. By actively promoting and facilitating adoption and family formation among LGBTQ couples, the Episcopal Church affirms that the full meaning of marriage includes not just companionship, but communal and generational responsibilities. By clearly articulating and courageously embodying the 3 foundational pillars, monogamy, marriage, and family, the Episcopal Church can become a powerful force for cultural renewal, offering a compelling alternative to contemporary norms that diminish the sacredness of relationships. Yet moral clarity alone is insufficient. We must also translate our principles into concrete, actionable commitments. The 6 missions for cultural renewal outline tangible initiatives through which our Church can reclaim its prophetic voice, foster authentic spiritual growth, and transform lives within the LGBTQ community and beyond. It's time for the Episcopal Church to finish the work of making marriage equal. This is a pivotal moment. The LGBTQ community stands at a cultural crossroads. We have achieved extraordinary victories, yet many among us grapple quietly with loneliness, isolation, and the unfulfilled longing for lasting intimacy. Our relationships, made equal in the eyes of the law, now deserve to be equally meaningful, dignified, and spiritually enriching. The Episcopal Church needs this mission as much as we need it. Amid institutional decline and uncertainty, the Church has the opportunity to reassert its moral and spiritual relevance by standing firmly for a deeper, more profound vision of human connection. We cannot let this moment pass quietly. Let us call on the Episcopal Church to fulfill its forgotten mission, to provide moral clarity and spiritual guidance to a community looking for more than acceptance. Our community deserves nothing less than the full realization of what equality promised, not merely equal rights, but the equal dignity and responsibility of marriage. The Episcopal Church must now step forward, leading boldly into a future defined by the sacred and transformative power of sacrificial love.